Okay, so what do Scorpios, what do we need to hear for the month of February? I'm a Scorpio moon, so, but let's see, Scorpio, what y'all need to hear? Okay. All right, we have secrets, pause, boundaries, growth, fire. Scorpios, what February has in store for you is the call, the request to pay attention to what you are keeping from yourselves. Give me just a moment. This month, you may find yourselves needing to reevaluate what is no longer working for you. This has to do both within yourselves, but also with others and how you are giving of your time, your energy, your love, how you wish to expand, how you wish to grow, how you wish to be, how you wish to learn and live the life that you desire. Boundaries aren't always meant to keep barriers or walls up. We have to pay attention to what our boundaries are actually doing. Are they keeping you within a certain space of confinement? You've reached a point in your life where it is time to break down these boundaries, these barriers, to reassess them so that you can evolve and grow and be what you are desiring for yourselves, what you are wishing to call in. This is me speaking now. That was James. So I kind of want to put into my own words. The camera shook because of Kitty. I kind of want to put into my own words what James just said to y'all. So for this month of February, Scorpio, it's going to be important that, like, as he's saying, yes, like, boundaries are amazing. They can be so supportive. They teach us, they can protect us, but they can also limit us. And so this month we need to quite literally pause. No action. Like, this isn't a time for you to make decisions or to say yes or no to the things, okay? Or to go ahead. Like, no. This is not a time of external action. This is a time of internal action where we are being invited to reassess, take a look, take inventory of our own guidelines, of our own boundaries, and how we are living or abiding our own morals, right? And we can outgrow our own boundaries, y'all. Like, we outgrow our own narratives all of the time. The thing is not all of us are always present with them. And that's part of the work of, like, self-awareness and practicing discernment and practicing presence. It's not practicing presence. Like, when I'm talking about we have to practice presence. It's not just so that we can be like, I'm at peace with myself. No! Practicing presence sometimes is like, damn, we are not at peace with ourselves, right? Like, we can realize, like, ooh, I'm uncomfortable. My back hurts. Like, I've been ignoring myself, right? Like that's part of, that's not all of what practicing presence is. Sometimes it is so that we can, practicing presence is so that we can acknowledge what within ourselves is needing what and how to tend to ourselves, how to care for ourselves. Because we all have different ways and needs to care for ourselves. We all have very lived and are living very different experiences. And we have to pay attention to what we are implementing, what we are, setting up for ourselves. And is it still supportive? Is it no longer supportive? Have I outgrown it? And what am I ready to move into and towards? Boundaries can be shifted all of the time because you are constantly evolving and growing. But for you, Scorpio, for this month, if you're wishing to experience the growth that you are desiring, some restructuring of certain boundaries, narratives need to take place. And this isn't a race, okay? This is a marathon. this is a wonderful time. This is the time to do this. If you have areas in your life specifically around like what you are passionate over and making your passion your purpose, i.e. your career or just the way you want your life to be lived, this is the month it's needed to do this reconfiguring, this reassessing, so that we can experience the growth in this year, right? I hope that makes sense. I also want to say that, like, obviously we do this at a pace where we are comfortable. And also when you reconfigure and reassess, this isn't just a one and done. You may have to do it a few times, and it's not just stuck within this month. It's just there is power within this month to make great change and for it to happen quickly, the growth, to witness it, not just internally, but externally. But we have to do that internal work, that internal action that James is advising. This isn't a time of like external action, it's internal action. All right, my loves. So now we're gonna we have Sagittarius. What do you, Sagittarius? What does February have in store for you? Actually, let me shuffle that one more time. I'm going to be transparent. I don't know if I shuffled that enough there, so I don't feel it. It just didn't feel true. Okay, and watch it come up again because that's how it works, right? One more. Okay. I'm like, do I? I'll set them aside. No. Okay. I'm like, are they for here? No. Okay. So we have connection, new moon focus, surrender, fire, caution. All right, Sagittarius. So for the month of February, if connection is what you are seeking, whether it be within your community, connection with yourselves, like there's this, what's being said right now, it sounds like a low whisper, but it being like as if it was playing on a record, which is like, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? If you've found yourself kind of wondering where you are right now in life, or like, you know, as sometimes there's a split message here. So there's two. They're saying some of you may have found yourself asking this very question: who am I? Like, what am I doing? What do I want to do? What do I want my life to look like? That's beautiful. That's okay. We want this of you because it's needed. You've reached this point. It's been evaded or avoided for some time, and it's now the time to address this very question: who are you? Who am I? What do I want to do? What do I wish to do? Who do I wish to be? And to have this be where your main attention goes. We can't continue to run circles and like avoiding said thing. They're showing like they're showing like a little mouse like running, like there's like a dirt field and there's a mouse and they're like kind of running just in circles, but in the center there's this, it almost looks like it's a chore, like something that they're meant to have, that they're meant to be doing, almost like as if they're preparing for I don't know if mice go in hibernation, but like, no, it's not hibernation. It's like there's like all this like hay or straw, it looks like straw, and they know that they're meant to be grabbing this to make themselves like their little home, like a little nest, right? Like it's something to help shelter them, to protect them, to keep them safe, to keep them warm. It's something that they need to do, okay? And yet they're like, nope. I'm having it. I'm gonna go pick flowers. I'm gonna do this. And they say this. He says this with nothing but love and respect. That's fine. He understands if you haven't had the energy or the want, simply the want to get to work, to do the thing, to do the things that you've been needing to do for yourself. That's fine. But we can't continue this any longer. We need you to have yourself this introspection work of who am I? What do I want? This needs to be your focus, and you need to surrender to what you discover. to what you discover as your truths, as what is that flame within you of what is driving you, what you wish to do in this life. Now, for the other part of you, okay, there's also this message that if connection is what you're desiring with another individual, again, whether it be with a group of people, a community, or deepen your connection with the friendships that you have, you need to be mindful of your reasonings why behind it. Is it because you are evading what you're needing from yourself? And so we're looking or turning to others to fill that for ourselves? Or is it that we genuinely are, I'm lonely, I need community, and this is what I want my community to look like. This is what community means to me. Whatever it may be, we need to surrender, we need to be vulnerable to what comes to the surface, and to practice caution around where we end up placing our mind's eye, our focus, our intention. Because, and again, he keeps repeating, like, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? I want to be really clear here on James' behalf. He's not implying, nor is he stating that you have no idea who you are, or you've never known who you are, or you're an imposter, none of that. The thing here is, though, what he's concerned with is that some of you who are hearing this may be feeling as though something is missing. And this feeling of something is missing doesn't imply or have to be something on this grand scale of like, I don't know who I am or what I'm doing in life. It may be as simple as, I've forgotten what my joy is. I've forgotten to be present with life and live, like be a present member of my own life, my own experience, that I'm unable to focus. I'm just moving through life really quickly through my day-to-day, my actions, my to-do list, my goal list, that I'm not even immersed in the experience itself. And that is the point of life. So it's not necessarily who am I and not knowing who you are. It's who are you and how are you living and embodying yourselves. And so this month, it's kind of deep work, right? Like, I mean, not kind of, it is. But if you're hearing this and you're kind of like, I don't know what that means, or I don't know if that even relates to how I'm feeling at this time, that's okay. I would advise or suggest that you at least ask yourself, like, how present have I been, or how present am I as my own person in this life? And how am I using my energy, my time? Because whatever it may be, let's say connection isn't the thing. The main thing here is focus is needed regarding what it is that is your truth and how you wish to live your life, how you wish to be. And we need to express caution and mindfulness with whom and what we're spending our time on, or what we're distracting ourselves with. That might even be our phones. Like, I don't know about y'all, even though like I'm filming this on my phone and like, whatever, but even though it has nothing to do with this, but like, I don't know about y'all, but like, I've been coming to a point where like, I don't want to be on my phone. I don't want anything to do with it. I open up social media apps just because out of habit, right? Like, we've trained ourselves to do that. And I open them like, what am I doing? I don't even want to be on this. I don't. And so that might even be, that's just a very loose example. But anyway, I hope this message is supportive for y'all. All right. Now, Capricorn. What do you, beautiful Capricorns, need to hear? Ooh, for February. I have two more. There we go. Ooh. All right, Capricorns, we have vision, new moon focus, joy, ego. All right, Capricorns. So for February, what is being suggested for you, what you are being invited in, is to create your vision, to see your vision of what joy, happiness, pleasure are for you. Again, they want you to take your mind out from, so they're showing like a person representing Capricorns, collective Capricorns, just busy at work, like whether they're like taking notes, writing a book, like whatever. Their head is deep within the work that they're doing. Okay, and yes, the work may absolutely be what they love. Okay, absolutely. But have they taken a moment? Have you taken a moment to pause, to immerse yourself within joy? Okay, because right now what we need to do, what you need to do, what you're being invited to do this month is to pay attention, just to be mindful, to be present, not just mindful, to be present and aware with your egos. And I'm not talking about the inflated ego. I'm talking about balanced and imbalanced ego. Our balanced ego, let me pause and rewind. Ego, yes, most folks associate it with like the inflated ego, arrogance, blah, blah, blah. Yes, that's part of the imbalanced ego, but our egos aren't inherently bad, nor are they inherently good or supportive. Yes, they're not inherently good or bad. Ego is a teacher. It is a mirror. It is a guide. It is what can be our driving force, right? It's what influences us. Our balanced ego is what can create ambition and confidence, right? And the self-belief and trust. The imbalanced ego is what can create feelings of FOMO or I will do anything at any cost. It doesn't matter who I hurt, who I step over, even if it's myself. It is going against our own boundaries. The imbalanced ego is, can be the inflated ego, but it's not living by one's truths or seeing one's own truth, right? That comes from our heart, our spirit, our soul. And so for you, Capricorn, what they're saying is to practice discernment and self-awareness within how our own egos are leading us. And so if you've found yourself so immersed with a to-do list or the work that you're doing, even if you love it, what is driving you? What is the driving force behind what you're doing? The whys behind it and why you're feeling what you're feeling, because this is a call-in that we may need to an aspect of our imbalanced ego of like, you need to do more, you need to do more, you need to do more, you're not enough, you're failing, this, that, and the other may come into play, or may have already been into play this past month, even like in January, right? You may have already been feeling this for some time, or been feeling like you beating yourself up with your own freaking hammer. And I get it, right? Like, I understand. But joy, love, pleasure, happiness is important for you, not just for this month, but for the year. And so if you can have fun and enjoy working on creating and forming your own interpretation, your own definition, your own vision of what joy and happiness are and would mean and would look like for you, then, and that's not what the focus is. That's just the invitation of the work to do this month. The focus needs to be on being honest with what drives us, and also where do our egos, our own egos, stand in the way when it comes to realizing, actually living and practicing, engaging with what joy means to us. Prioritize that vision, prioritize that. And self-awareness is going to be a huge component for you this month, specifically because it's like James, like a lot of y'all just keep limiting yourselves and I'm so sorry saying it this way. It's like a lot of you are limiting yourselves and not letting yourself to be happy. You deserve to be happy. And so that's why we need to practice the self-awareness and discernment of when our imbalanced ego is leading, because it's not always the truth. All right. Okay, Aquarius. That's my sun sign. Ooh. Okay, Aquarius, what do we need to know? What do we need to hear for the month of February? Okay. go. Ooh. Okay, we have doubt, breathe, create, let it go, earth, and fire. Woo! Okay, Aquarius. So what we need to hear is that this month we may find ourselves experiencing doubt, or the doubt that we have been experiencing, like it just feels like a heightened, like the emotion of doubt or the feelings that we associate with doubt, that come with doubt, may be heightened this month. And we may find ourselves feeling like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Who am I? Like, why did I start this? Is this gonna work? Who do I think I am? Breathe. Trust yourselves. Breathe it out, move the body, get blood flow going so that we can come back to center, come back into our bodies, and be reminded of, again, like this seems to be like a consistent message amongst all the signs for this month, is like, remember why we started what we started, or why we are who we are, why we do what we do, and why we love what we love. And this month is going to be important that we create actions or rituals of release. And release doesn't always mean like to quite literally like let shit go, right? Like, and for some of you it might be that like, here's the thing that James is saying. So some of you, yes, like the doubt that you may be experiencing is heightened, right? But when we come back to center and we breathe, we do that not just so we find peace and can move through the doubt. We come back to center and we come back into peace so that we can see clearly the whys behind why we are experiencing the doubt. Because for some of you, it is an invitation that release is needed, and it may be releasing the doubt, or it may be that what you're doubting is valid and it's no longer supportive and is not aligned with what you're meant to be doing or are with your purpose, right? At this point in time. And so we need to release it so that we can shape shift what it was into something that's more aligned with our desires and purpose. And so what can be supported for IUE this month is to practice being grounded in our body, practice being grounded with our reality, not just what we perceive to be our reality that is coming from our emotional body, right? And when we are doing this, when we are practicing presence with our doubts, practicing presence with our doubts, and coming to these epiphanies, these realizations of the reasonings behind these doubts or heightened doubt, what we've gone clarity over, we must remember to move at a pace that is solid. Okay, so meaning we are responding, whatever we choose to do, whatever action we decide to do, it comes from a place that is rooted in response versus reaction. So let's say this doubt that you're experiencing is over a partnership, whether it be, business, creative partnership, or romantic, and we've been experiencing doubt over the relationship, over the partnership. If we don't practice the art of discernment and self-awareness, we may find ourselves reacting and making hasty decisions that are not rooted in fact, that are not truths. And so that's why we have to call ourselves back in from space, right? And be aware, be present, so that we can see clearly what is actually taking place, and have our actions come from a place of response that are rooted in truth and fact. Some of you, he's saying like, this is a time for action. So you can make that choice. You can say yes or no to the thing. But if you are not, again, you have to just be sure that it is coming from a place of response, not reaction. Because some of you may, and really take your time in getting there and being sure that, okay, this is like, these are the whys behind what I'm feeling. This is not just coming from a place of emotion. This is not coming from a place of FOMO. This is not coming from a place of fear. I am feeling doubt over X, Y, and Z because it no longer is supportive, or it's yeah, it's draining me of my resources, and that's why I'm feeling this doubt. And then you can make the action. If you are making that choice because you are, you know, afraid of what's to come, the uncertainty, and we make a haste decision, we may make a decision that is actually not super supportive for ourselves. So I hope that that makes sense. To kind of put it all simply there and wrap it all up, you know, be grounded. Try to be as grounded as possible. Not only within your bodies, but within your emotional bodies and your mental bodies. And look, like doubt, the thing is with doubt and like emotions in general, they come up all of the time. They resurface all of the time. To think that we're able to completely eliminate or release doubt, fear, anxiety, anger, you know, these unpleasant or unwanted emotions from our lives, from our existence, it's not realistic. We're always going to experience some form of them or another. What's important to release when we're thinking of release work is that we're doing it in a way where we are releasing how that emotion controls our actions and the ways that we view ourselves and our world, rather than focused on, I need to release this emotion, because then we're not really learning the whys, right? And like why it's coming up, where it's coming from, so on and so forth. Okay, that was a lot. So now our final Astro Spirit Scope, we have beautiful, sweet Pisces. What is it that y'all need to hear for the month of February? What do y'all need to know? Ooh, we've got this one, this one. Okay. So we have clarity, fear, vulnerability, pleasure, fire, and create. Okay, Pisces. So for the month of February, you may find yourselves this month finding that peace or that balance that you may have been looking for, that clarity, right? Within not just your mental body, but within your entire energetic bodies, mind, body, spirit, emotion. And this feels like a month where, because you have this beautiful way of being open with yourselves and being vulnerable and honest with what you're feeling, right? And like meeting them face to face, that this is how the word that they're using is conquer. This is how you're going to conquer fear, the fears that you've been having, the worries that you've been having. And because of that, they're saying that this month, a lot of you are going to shift from being from a place that is worry, like filled with worry, or a lot of like mental chatter and like uncertainty, and coming into a place where we are at peace and we may not understand or see the road ahead, right? But we are able to see the beauty with what is around us and within what has taken place, within what has yet to taken place. And rather than focusing on what no longer is working or what we're grieving over, we have this, like these new set of eyes, if you will, that we just can't seem to not see what the beauty and not see the pleasure within life and why it's worth living for. And they want you to create time for action, to act on these very things. And so when we can witness beauty, we can witness joy, we can witness the abundance in our lives and the things that we can name all the things, right? Like we can identify all the damn things that bring us pleasure, that bring us that we are passionate over, that bring us joy, and then pleasure too. Not like, I don't mean just like, I mean like intimacy, I mean like pleasure that is you know, like tangible, like pleasure that's like, if pleasure is like having a good meal, if pleasure is, you know, for you, having your financial needs met because you got booked for the month, or, you know, it's whatever that may be, they want you to create action towards experiencing it. And it's okay for you to experience it, and not feel fear over how long it will stay in your hands. This is me speaking now. I want to add to that because, you know, again, each one of us have very different lived experiences. And for anyone to say, oh, you know, anyone who's experienced scarcity or lack of resources, to say, oh, just believe it and do what you can, and it's gonna happen. To hear that is problematic. Or to say, to like, how do I phrase that? Like, it's easier said than done, right? And I'm not here, nor are they saying that like, oh, to do this, right, to create action towards, it's not always easy to generate the income that we need to, you know, pay our bills, or to, you know, have our needs met. But the action we can take is to choose to believe that we're worth it, to choose that we find joy and love within ourselves, that we can at least envision that, right? Like, because choice is an action. And so that's what we need to remember this month. And your fears are real. Like, I don't know about any of y'all who've experienced like having, you know, being negative in your bank account. Like, and so I don't know why I'm sharing this because this is kind of where they're coming from. But, you know, that's a real fear, to be like, shoot, I am negative in my bank account and I don't know what to do. I'm gonna get these fees. I'm going to have, you know, whatever it may be, and it's very activating, right? Like, when I've experienced that, when I mean, because it's happened a few times. You know, I'm gonna be real. Like, I'm not born into wealth, and it's been real. So when I've experienced that, there have been moments where I react, and I comes from a place of fear, and I give into that fear, and I just crawl into a hole, and I just don't want to deal with it, and I can't. And so that's where all my focus is. And then I've learned to, okay, that's happened. That happened. That fucking sucks. But I'm going to choose to forgive myself and accept that this happening is in no way a reflection of the type of person that I am and my value. And then proceed from there. Now, obviously, this is a very like weird example because, again, it's a lot more complicated than that, right? Because if you go into negative and if you don't have the resources, then what do? I'm simply stating, trying to explain what they mean by that, which is, if you find yourself this month they just want you to focus, bring your awareness, bring your attention to self-belief and to believing that, and to trying to create actionable steps, whether it be internal or external, that reminds you of your worth, and that what you are, the importance of experiencing joy and pleasure in your life in any which way, and whatever it means for you, and allowing that to come in. Again, it's easier said than done, but there is going to be kind of like revelations and clarity around, for you, like where we have placed our awareness, or where we may have been placing the our focus or intention more versus other areas in our life. And Viola, my other guide, she's saying it's a call to action for have you been living within a mindset or narrative of glass half empty versus glass half full? She says that with nothing but love and respect. I say that with nothing but love and respect. And I'm also going to add to be really like gentle and kind with yourselves. And I also apologize if the example that I gave around scarcity and money and like being negative in the bank account or bank, if that was activating for anybody, because even like me just bringing that up, I activated myself with that. And so your fears are not your truths. Your fears are not your truths, my loves. Your fears are merely windows to what you desire. And so let's kind of try to make space, make room for what you do want. All right. Thank you all so much. I want to say thank you all for being here. If you've watched all of these, and I hope that wherever you find yourselves this month, that you are loving on yourselves, that you celebrate yourselves always. And until next time, take care. The other thing I want to add here is, if y'all, I'm gonna plug myself in. If y'all are liking this deck, this is my own deck, Passages Oracle deck. I'll put the link below. And if you'd like to work with me, my books are open. You can also subscribe over at my Patreon community, the Cosmic Cusp, or just learn more about it, see what it is. And if not, thank you for being here. Until next time, take care. Bye.